I want to take a few minutes and talk about the role of comfort in parenting. I think that's misunderstood in some ways, and we either get on to the one side, which can cause some problems, or the other side that can cause some problems. So let's talk about comfort because it is a significant relational tool. Let's start there. Comfort is so valuable. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give to a child is to comfort them. It's to give them this sense of belonging, this sense of care when they're hurting. Comfort is one of those great tools that we come along and we provide for someone when they're struggling with something. And so sometimes a child's struggling with their anger, or a child's struggling with being kind to someone. And so we come along, we comfort them and guide them along in that process. Comfort is so valuable. And sometimes children like to be comforted by holding and touching. Sometimes they like to be comforted with words of affirmation. So comfort becomes a strategic tool to minister to a person's heart. And it helps them so much. I mean, God is our comforter. The Holy Spirit is called a comforter. God comes in and comforts us in our lives continually. And this role of comfort is strategic. If you're looking for a passage about comfort, 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 3-5 talks about how God comforts us in our troubles. I think we want to model that with our children. We want to comfort them and give them comfort in the midst of their troubles. Now, let's look at the challenges here to comfort, because I think, number one, sometimes parents forget about comfort because they're trying to get things done. Just get in the car. And so they're more focused on the tasks at hand. Sometimes the tension that's created by children being obstinate and so on reduces our desire to comfort, and we just get angry with them and bark instructions to them. And sometimes parents don't think about the comfort that they need to bring into the process. So trying to comfort children is very important to them. But I think sometimes parents overdo comfort. So let's not go that direction. What I mean by that is that sometimes parents think that by pleasing their children, making them comfortable, they're going to increase a child's self-concept and help them to feel better about life. Unfortunately, if we have comfort without firmness, then that comfort tends to breed selfishness in the lives of children. We must have firmness because firmness builds character. Imagine the child who needs eye drops, for example, who's 4 years old and has pink eye, and you've got to put the eye drops in the eyes. And the child is saying, no, I'm not going to do it. And so you have to hold the child down, and you have to put the drops in the eyes in order for the child to get the medicine that they need in order to get well. Well, in the midst of that process of firmness that you must do, at the same time, you want to do as much comforting as possible, both beforehand and during and afterwards. We're exercising firmness and comfort. Children need both of those things in their lives. Children need the firmness in order to make changes and to challenge and to move forward. There's some parents who don't use enough firmness because they're afraid that the relationship will be damaged. In fact, regularly in the National Center for Biblical Parenting, as we work in the coaching program, parents overcome this hurdle and they're surprised that their child didn't reject them, or did reject them temporarily, or got angry with them. But in the end, it increased relationship and respect for the parents, because the parents did set this limit on this 17-year-old and said, no, we're not going to live this way anymore. And we're going to use some firmness. But in the midst of that firmness, we're using relationship. So relationship becomes this powerful tool. And sometimes it fits into this whole category of comfort. Comfort is a strategic parenting tool that we use. We want to make sure that we're giving it to our children on a regular basis. Sometimes we're requiring firmness. We're saying, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to be playing on the video games. And a child starts complaining and getting upset. I think we can say to a child, look, you can't complain and you can't whine, because that's inappropriate. If you want, come over here, I'll hug you for a little bit, or I'll help you get involved in something else, but we're not going to listen to the whining and complaining. That's firmness associated with comfort. Let's not lose the balance of those two things, or we're likely to end up in a problem, either by being too rough with children and harsh and not having the comfort, or we're going to be too giving or permissive with children, and we're going to end up giving them things to comfort them and not build the character. We need both. We need the character that's developed through firmness, and we need the comfort that provides relationship. Remember that as you're trying to build closeness with your child, it will help you greatly as you're trying to help children move forward in their lives.